Welcome to Lost Culture, one-stop destination for everything pop culture. My name is Astøn, and I'll be your host for today's episode of Lost Culture's Power Season 4, Episode 7, You Lied to My Face Recap. Now, before we get started, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share it so your friends can see. Now, as you can see, we're shooting in a different area today, and we're a little bit late, but let's just jump right into it. So, now the first thing we're going to talk about is Ghost. So we see Ghost and Tariq is on the train riding back to the city, and we definitely see like Tariq's like in that little shock. We see Ghost looking around. He's thinking all the people are looking at him. We see like when he sees the other father and son on the train, he actually tries to act more like them. You see him put his arms around Ghost, not around Ghost, but around Tariq, and we have all that going on. Moving on from, and you see the first person he hits up is Tommy. That's one thing I said. Tommy will be super pissed off when he finds out that Ghost robbed him. But soon he finds out who it was. Soon he finds out why Ghost robbed him. It kind of like balances everything out. It definitely did. We see like he even tells like James like if it was anybody else for any other reason, they'd be dead, and that is absolutely true. So we see Tommy's coming in, scoops up Tariq and the Ghost. We see they had a little conversation with Tariq, and he actually covers for Dre. Tariq does not learn. He actually had a good reason to understand it, but at the same time, Tariq does not learn. The boy does not learn. Going on from there, we got we're still on Ghost. Ghost goes back to the penthouse. We see we see Tasha's there, already angry, trying to figure out where they are, where they've been, all that nonsense. And she like, oh, I don't want to hear from you, I want to hear from him, because all you do is lie or whatever. And when we see Tariq just go off, oh, you've been lying to me like this whole time, which is true. And this is why Tasha needed to be paying a little bit closer attention to Tariq about who he was spending time with, because it's the second time he got kidnapped. She had no idea who he was hanging out with. If the kid's if he's on punishment or something, why are you still letting him roam the streets, whatever? I don't want to blame it all on Tasha, because yes, Tariq did lie to her, but at the same time, when I was younger, if I wanted to spend like an extra night out or something, my mom would still at least make me come home to get some clean clothes or something just to go back. But hey, parenting styles are different, but or at least talk with the parent to make sure everything was straight with them. But beyond that, we see that happens. What else do we see Ghost doing? We see Ghost actually accepted the Stern deal. We see he has like all the reporters and everything in the house. He's setting everything up so that they can get that figured out. And we see Tasha is really not having it, and and like I understand why all the kids already been on camera enough, but at the same time, like this is one of the things you guys gotta do just to get everything figured out, just to get back on track, because this is like a different type of camera. There is more in the picture rather than being questioned, I think, because we didn't even see the kids get any questions. But beyond that, it was just ugh. So going on from there, we got Ghost and that reporter. I don't think we actually got a name for her. I don't know if they're trying to set up a new like love connection for Ghost, because she hit him with the I like to know everything about my people, about my person. And what else did she say? Oh, your wife doesn't love you anymore. So she's definitely running a game. I just want to see her in it. Like, I don't know if that's going to be like a new love connection. I can see the vibes going on. I can see the vibes. But beyond that, she definitely like let us know like that situation is dead. Like Dunzo, going nowhere. And we see after that, we have to see Lawrence Tate finally with this episode 7. So he's only going to be, it's only 3 episodes he could be in this 7, 8, 9, and 10. So that's 4 episodes. He could be in all 4 episodes. And we see he's letting him know, like, look, I wouldn't trust everything Stern is telling you, which James already knows. But I wouldn't trust everything that Stern is telling you. I would just like come stick with me. And I love how he pulls like the black card, like brother, like blah, and no, I'm from Queens, you're from Queens. Let's do this. So that's really all we have for Ghost. I'm lying. We see James actually meets up with Proctor. Proctor is Proctor is telling them everything that went on. We see Bailey's missing because Tommy confronted them about the wire, and that's where Proctor continued to tell him that Tommy's going to be a problem. Tommy is a problem. Tommy's out here just killing people, well, willy-nilly. Yeah, and we see later on in the episode when John kind of confronts Proctor, that Ghost is out in the cut to drink this tea like it's nothing good, like it's nothing. But going on from there, let's go hit up Tommy. So Tommy. We see once Tommy pick up Tariq and everything, he gets the info about Kanan being alive. First person he hits up is Dre. Well, Dre probably hit him up, so he beat him at that warehouse. And we see they're outside. They're talking. We see Tommy confronts Dre about the whole Kanan situation. Luckily, Tariq covered for him, and everything's all good on that front. And everything works out. We see him walk inside the club, and not club, but the warehouse, and we see Julio's dead in there. And in that same moment, we get to see Dre actually ask for the promotion at the same time. And we see Tommy is super heated about the whole Julio situation. We see he actually requested the meeting with Oriole and tells the Toros basically we want all of our territories back. We want extra territory. Like he wants to meet with the top Jimenez and all that. And we see the Toros were really hesitant about that. Like, oh, the Jimenezes are some savages, they butchers, blah blah blah. And I love how when we do that, it gives us a cutscene right into the Jimenezes, and we see these two are ruthless. We see one of their, I don't know, I guess they're one of their distros or their distro. He's been snorting coke. He's been doing all the product. He's been, what else has he been doing? Oh, his wife was getting ready to snitch on the whole organization. And we see they're ruthless. We see the sister go picks up the baby. We see she makes Dominic, I think his name was, do so much coke that he OD'd on the situation. We see the brother while they're just messing with, they're talking to each other. He's like drops the gun and then pulls the trigger. I mean, these two are ruthless. They're trying to show us how ruthless they are, and that makes the scenes that much better when we see Tommy goes in, and Tommy's not backing down. He's letting them know everything he did for them, how they owe him. He opens up like, "Oh, you guys owe me twice. Like I knocked off Lobos for you, which they were taking credit for." And the only issue with taking credit for something you didn't do is when the person, there's someone who knows you didn't do it. So that's the whole issue. So basically that threw off their reputation in front of those people, like, oh, damn, he's the one who did it. And I think that scared Dre a little bit more, because we see that Tommy and Ghost are more dangerous than he may have thought, because we see he was involved with killing Milan, but he didn't realize that Ghost and Tommy killed the Lobos too. So these cats have been knocking off their people above them like it's nothing. This is the second time. This is the second time since Dre been with them that they knock off two people above them. So Dre probably didn't know that was going on. He like, damn, these cats are way more ruthless than I thought they were. And we see the whole time there, Tommy's super cool. Tommy's like, look, I want my property back, blah blah blah. We see Uriel is still like tripping, and we see when Uriel actually gave him that kill, Tommy's not believing. That's one thing I do like about Tommy when it comes to like all the street stuff. Definitely in this episode, we're starting to see his intelligence. We're starting to see like how we wanted to see. I think it was season 3 when they were going against each other. What we wanted to see them, like what we wanted to see from Tommy, we're actually seeing this season. We see how intelligent he is, how handy, how capable he is at running a drug empire. Going on from there, we see he's super in control of the situation with their menaces, and even once they even once they damn. Oh, it was one thing I had in it. Power, power, power. So in the Jimenez, in a Toro scene, when we see Tommy like they're torturing like the low level guy, when they do the translation for I forgot what he said. I forgot what he said. Um, it said "poot." Like, the direct like first of all, when they translated the Spanish to English, there was still a Spanish word in the translation. I'm like, why? Like, why is that? Like, I was thinking to call him like a puto liar, like bitch liar. Like, why? Why did he? I understand they probably didn't want to write bitch on there, but if you're translating the language, you can't translate a language and into the same language. That's like my whole. It's like using the definition of a definition. I mean, using the definition of the word to explain the word. Like, I mean, using the word in the definition, using the word you're trying to explain in its own definition. This doesn't make sense. Now, going on from there, we got Tariq. So Tariq is bucking with Tasha in front of Ghost. Ghost let that one slide due to the fact due to the fact that he felt slighted too. We see, I know a lot of people be upset about that. Like, why didn't Ghost step in? Like, he did step in. He did put his hand, but I think Ghost understood what Tariq was going through at that moment because he was being lied to. He was being lied to by his mom. He was being he's also being manipulated by Kanan. Bro, like he just seen someone get killed. So I think like Ghost was just giving him like the little leeway right there. So I don't think any other situation he would let that slide because last time he did something like that, we seen Ghost get super mad. Now going on there, we see Tariq is asking questions, a lot of questions now. We see he's asking about Tommy, like how many people has Tommy killed. He's asking Dre so he can get like everyone's side of the story, so he can see which is real, which is lies, or everything. And I like to see that. One thing I didn't see, like we see he's still heavy on like lean. We see he threw Reina out the room. So disrespectful. So disrespectful. Going on from there, we got Reina and Tariq getting into it. Reina, like we see Tasha broke her down some of the story, but not the whole story. And we see Reina starting to see that her mom is more of the bad guy than James is. And on the other side, we see Tariq is actually seeing that maybe that the dad is more of a bad guy than the mom is. But either way, he thinks both of them are a bad guy. Because it's funny because Tariq always like, oh, dad's a drug dealer, dad's a drug dealer, dad's a drug dealer. And now Reina's getting this out of the story where like, oh, Tasha's trying to force dad into kill, like mom's trying to force dad into kill somebody, and dad didn't do it. So I'm glad that we're getting those two different angles, which is true. Like Ghost was a drug dealer, but some of the stuff he does, Tasha does try to push him into it, which is yeah. Now we see Reina try to tell him like, look, maybe we can get mom and dad to send us to this nice little private school out in Connecticut. We don't have to worry about everybody knowing about who we are, what our parents do, what our parents were into. And because if we don't, and we stay here and you start acting up and start getting in more trouble, that can bring more heat onto our parents. Reina is definitely more street savvy than Tariq is. I gotta give her that. She's definitely more street savvy. She just took the information that her mom gave her with a grain of salt and started working up a plan to separate herself from it. That's definitely Ghost's daughter right there. That's definitely Ghost's daughter. So going on from there, from Reina, we're gonna move on to Dre. So Dre, we see he's hanging out with Tariq. He's trying to figure out what does Tariq want from him that he kept his secret to Kanan and Tommy, to Ghost and Tommy. And we see he finds out he's want information. So Dre's breaking it down to him. We don't know what Dre actually told him because it actually cuts out. But going on from there, we see he actually asks Tommy for the distro. He's accompanied Tommy with the Jimenez kill, Jimenez meetup. We see his face physically changes when he finds out that these are the ones who Tommy killed Lobos. We see he's talking to Uriel and he tells him like, look, I didn't think it would be that big of an issue, but I told you not to sign your name on it. And so we both messed up in that situation, and we got to figure out some way out of it. And I don't think now that Dre got promoted and everything, and then Tariq's covering up for him, I think Tommy's gonna start having a little bit more leeway with Dre. He started to trust him a little bit more, but not all the way. But yeah, yeah. So moving on from there, we got Mike. Mike is making himself so obvious. We see he's trying to push the blame on everyone besides himself. We see he's pushing on Donovan this episode. He even got Sax running with that. Sax is wanting his job. I love how Sax is like, I feel kind of bad for Sax because Sax was just there. Sax wasn't really involved in any of the nonsense that went down to get James like caught out. He does still think James is guilty, but he really had nothing to do with all the cover-ups and stuff. Because we see Angela brought the information to John. John covered it up. She brought the information about the gun to Sandoval. Sandoval covers up. So this whole time, everything. I think she might have brought that to John too, but Sax had nothing to do with it. Even at that one moment, Sax was literally just walking into the courtroom when everything just happened to happen. So that's that situation. And with Angela, we see Angela again this episode, and Angela is working towards getting everyone else, like getting the whole thing like figured out. She's sitting down with Donovan. She's telling them like, look, I need you guys, like, if James didn't do it, that means one of us did it, and we got to figure out who it did, because the rat has to be within our team. Like, we're getting closer to who the rat is. The rat has to be here. If James didn't put it there, someone else had to put it in. But Donovan's not believing it at first. We see he kind of lucked out again, suspended, and we see he's like, I really can't like mess up right now. I got a family to provide on this paycheck. Angela hits him with the same line like, look, I don't even have a paycheck, but I had a family to provide for too. But this is what's right. Like, we need to do what's right for him. So, going back all that, we see Mike on the murder business again. Mike at the we see Mike shows up to Donovan's house or apartment, and Donovan's daughter answers the door. Luckily, he didn't pull that trigger, because I think he was planning on pulling the trigger when Donovan said hello or whatever. So luckily, he didn't just pull the trigger. We see he's talking to the daughter. You know, he's kind of like freaked out a little bit. He's like, oh my God, I almost killed this man while his kids were there. And I think he's thinking about his own daughter. I wouldn't want my daughter to go through that with me there. So later on in the episode, we see everyone's actually at Hedge's house. We see Sax shows up. And at first I thought it was like Mike showing up. Like, oh, Mike must try to kill her. While Donovan's there, that's going to turn out bad, man. And we see it's actually Sax, and she like keeps the door like cracked, so Sax can't really see what's going on inside the apartment. And he's like, oh, I think it's Donovan. We need to start looking at Donovan. And that's when she pushes the door up and like, bruh, Donovan's right here. Like, and it's funny because once she does that, we see he like, oh, that was Mike's idea. I was just going with what Mike said. And we see him starting to break everything down together. And we see they actually figured out that Mike was the only person who went upstairs before Donovan was up there. So they're starting to zero in on Mike. I don't know how much longer Mike has. Mike, boy, you might just want to pack your things and get outie. Going on to Tasha. Boy, Tasha got so much going on. And y'all get mad at me for dragging Tasha. Like, Tasha has to be one of the foulest characters in here. And I was glad that Jay finally hit her with that line that I've been trying to push since like the season started. I mean, since the series started. Ghost did not leave the family. Ghost only left Tasha. He was still there for Reina. He was still there for Tariq. But Tasha looks at it like, oh, if you left me, you left all of us. No. He left you. So going on from there, we see that really like sparks a nerve for her. We see the issues with like the whole thing with Sterling popping off. We see she told Ghost she's gonna hang out with Keisha, and really she wouldn't go hang out with Sterling. Sterling's an idiot, first of all. Sterling, my man, what is going on with you, bro? He wants what Ghost has, but And he's being played. He's being super played. Like, Tasha is not that one. He thinks like Ghost is like the old bad guy here and everything. He thinks Tasha just is innocent damsel in distress. No, bruh, no. We see they're out doing a little karaoke thing. She breaks down, like, starts singing. We see what else is. We see what else did happen this episode, bro? Tasha and Sterling hooks up. What? Sterling, man, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. You are an idiot. We see Tasha still mad at Ghost. We see it was actually her idea to kill Kanan, and Ghost goes against it or whatever. So I wonder if it was her idea. I don't think it was her idea for Breeze, but I'm pretty sure that was all Ghost. But she had a new ring. She's rocking a new ring. We see she's not really trying to rebuild the relationship. So what the little reporter told James was correct. Like, that shit is donezo. That shit is donezo. I don't even know why James want to fix that relationship. But he need to let that burn, man. He need to let that burn. Moving on to Proctor. So Proctor. We see Proctor is talking to James about the whole Bailey situation and the Tommy situation. At the same time, he had to worry about John now. Could John show up to the crib? And we see Ghost is like, bro, why don't you tell me about this whole situation going on? Like, we could have got this stuff figured out, and now I'm getting blindsided. I don't know how to handle it. But luckily, you know, he just played it cool. Let Tommy tell everything, and he went from there. So we see all that happen. We see Proctor, like, you know, like, oh, I couldn't do anything. Proctor, I had no choice. And Proctor doesn't know, like, I got rid of the body, I got rid of the recording, I had my apartment clean, and Ghost like, hey, clean that joint like 2 more times. I need that cleaned 2 more times professionally. And we see, once that happens, we see John shows up. John hits Proctor with, hey, look, the last place Bailey's phone pinged off of was right there. That's for this location. I don't know what you got into, but Bailey's missing, and if you had anything to do with it, I'm gonna bring you down with it. And that might make sense what James was talking about earlier, that maybe Proctor kept some of the evidence and stuff just so he can get a way out, whatever, find his way out. And going on from there, we find out, since Tony's calling the whole episode, we find out Tony officially is Tommy's dad. Called it. But that's the situation. Tommy is the dad. We got John isn't suspended. John is still on the team. Like, John isn't suspended. John stopped work. Now John is investigating the team. And we see no one's really feeling it. No one at all. No one is feeling it at all. That's really all we have this week. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm sorry if you feel kind of rushed or off. I don't know what's going on, but sorry for all that, all the differences going on. What else? So for predictions, I feel like James is going to have to, like, keep a close eye on Proctor. He's going to be, like, stalking him, like, preying on him, trying to figure out what Proctor's plan is, trying to see what the game plan is with the whole Bailey situation. While at the same time, he might start courting. He might start taking out the little reporter chick. I feel like there's a relationship right there that's going to work on that. One thing I did miss for the Lorenz, Tate, and Ghost situation, I feel like we already seen, like, because Sterling is definitely not a fan of him, that Ghost might actually go towards him even more. Like, he's already black, he's from Queens also, and he feels like he might be able to trust him a little bit more than he can trust Sterling, which we all know he can't trust Sterling as far as you can throw him. So that whole situation, he's definitely going to go with that one. And that's really all we have for the episode. That's all I really predict. I don't really feel like the Tasha and Sterling situation is going to work out too well, but somehow James and Angela are going to end up reconnecting. I want to see how that turns out, but I definitely see James going more towards that reporter girl lady. I want to see how that turns out. But thank you guys for tuning in.